I'm Lindsay, and this is my first official video. So October is National Disability Employment Awareness Month, and I figured what better time to sort of educate and bring awareness to disabilities and to finally share my story in video form. I don't post many videos, and I think I might start, so here's the first sort of stab at it. So just a little background about me. I am a marketing strategist by day, and by night I'm a painter / creative extraordinaire in a sense. My medium of focus right now is watercolor and acrylics. My portfolio ranges from illustration to abstract to still lifes. But lately I've been dabbling in this sort of pastel, orangey, and tan color story in acrylic and watercolor form. So a little bit about why I'm even brought up Disability Awareness Month. If you can't tell right now, I have a speech impediment. Some people can't tell, allegedly, I don't know. But yes, I have a speech impediment. And that's, I would say, the most notable aspect of my disability. I have cerebral palsy. I was diagnosed at birth. I was born 2 months early on October 11th, almost that time, at 2 pounds 12 ounces. The story sort of went a lot better than it was supposed to, and for that reason I'm here to tell it. I went to the University of Richmond for undergrad. I studied international studies with a concentration in world politics and diplomacy and Spanish. I'm really passionate about storytelling, art, communications, marketing, many things digital. I'm very passionate about diversity and inclusion, and really just sharing those stories and seeing the light and love in others. And I just like to hear other people's stories, and I like to share mine, because you never know sort of how what you're going through will help someone else or who is feeling alone in their journey. So October is National Disability Employment Awareness Month. It dates back to about 1945, and it was a week that focused on people with disabilities. The month is celebrated nationwide to sort of celebrate and acknowledge the diverse skills and talents in the workplace, no matter sort of what the person's identification is. And it sort of highlights that people have many different backgrounds and skills. And many people are living with both seen and unseen disabilities, both heard and unheard. I have been living with cerebral palsy for almost 29 years now, as of October 11th, and I was diagnosed at birth. The story went a lot better than it was than we anticipated. I guess we, my mom, and doctors, and for that reason I'm here to tell and talk about it. So I have cerebral palsy. The most noticeable aspect of that, I would say, is my speech impediment. There are some cognitive delays, some physical impairments, fine motor skills, balance, small things. I would say not enough to call home about, but sometimes it is. And I've sort of been figuring out in my 20s sort of what this means for my life, sort of how I need to adapt and what tools I need to explore and use in order to sort of just make it through the day to day. Of course, I'm in a unique situation because I'm living at an intersection of not only being disabled, I'm black and I'm a woman, so I guess the positive way to look at that, I would say, is that I'm a triple threat. It doesn't always feel that way. It can be really heavy and lonely at times, though I do have an extremely supportive group of friends and family. In general, there's just some dynamics and aspects of cerebral palsy or just having a disability that can be harder to grasp, and it makes some of the normal day-to-day a bit challenging. But yes, a part of my sort of brand pillar and passion is about storytelling, and this is mine. A few sort of hacks that I've learned along the way that sort of keep me going and keep me sort of grounded is the importance of faith, the importance of self-care, and just understanding and acknowledging myself and others. Of course, I missed the mark on these things many times, but time and time again, I'm sort of faced sort of with that mirror and saying, okay, Lindsay, what aspects of your life are you sort of lacking in? Are you focusing on these three things? Faith, self-care, and just seeing yourself and others in both the good and the not so good. So I hope to talk a little more about this over time, but this is just a quick, I don't know if it was quick, but an introduction about sort of what it's like to be me. Painting has really been my outlet. Through painting and writing, I've managed to find a way to release a lot of the anxiety and sort of pressures that I have built up inside that are not only inflicted by myself. I would say I'm the main culprit of that. But some of those other outside pressures that come from being an overachiever, wanting to be the best, wanting to succeed, and just wanting to be understood. But it really starts with that sort of self-understanding and that self-seeing. And I think so often when we pour out to others or we say that we see others, we first must acknowledge and sort of check in and say, are we seeing ourselves? Are we only looking and loving ourselves when we're at our highest form and achieving the most? Or are we loving that range, as I've written before, are we loving the baggage and the brilliance? So, yes, that's a little about me. Let me know if you have any questions. I feel free to answer them if I can. And yeah, I hope to talk a little more about disability inclusion and just diversity and inclusion in general. And if you have a story that you want to share about a seen or unseen talent, or something heard or unheard that you're going through, feel free to let me know. But yes, thank you for watching.